Just a quick recap. Basically, the delegation toolkit is a I don't know, SDK
Yeah.
that help you delegate calls so that way you can sign transactions on behalf of the other person. At least not you, but like the delegation you create for that person specifically. So what first comes to mind when we think on this is that we can delegate an AI to make transactions on our behalf, basically. So that's what we are going to try, or at least we are going to start building today. So yeah, let's give it a look to the code right here. Let me know when. Let me just check when my screen is on the live stream.
I
There it
just
is.
toggle the wires.
Okay. So basically, what are we going to use to do that? Today, let's start by creating the delegator account because we have different steps right here. Let me just check this. We have a delegator account. We have a delegate account, which is going to be the wallet, the
Agent.
AI agent, yeah, account. We're going to have the caveats, which are going to be the conditions or rules uh, that we're going to create to the delegation, and then we're going to create the delegation itself, adding the delegator, the delegate, and the caveats. So this delegation is going to store somewhere. We're not going to get this far today because it's a lot, but at least we're going to get to the delegator smart account. But when you create a delegation, you have to store this delegation somewhere. We're going to store it on the, I don't know, Chin, is the MetaMask storage service?
Yeah, there's a storage service with MetaMask, which is experimental at the
Okay,
moment, but we can use it anyway in the next step,
great.
probably.
Which other options does the users have or developers have for
Yeah, if you are just testing, you can even save it in local
cool?
storage or something, or just in any database we should work. It's just storing just
Great,
simple structures,
great.
simple objects.
So yeah. So after saving, we're storing the delegation in local storage or wherever you want to save it. Then we have to fetch
Yeah.
them to be able to redeem the delegations. So this is basically like the general functionalities of this AI agent. We're going to be able to deploy smart contracts without having any wallet interaction, at least during the process. Of course, before we'll need to create a delegator account, the delegate, and all that. But that's enough talking. Let's start coding. So what do we have right here? We have an Next.js application using App Router, and we're using the AI SDK to be able to make a chat with an AI. What we have right here is the app directory with an API, which is calling the Next.js. We are using OpenAI, I mean the OpenAI GPT-4o model. We have a layout. We have a page, like regular stuff. Here in the components, we have the providers. Right here, we're using WAGMI and the query client provider. So that way we can keep the state of the wallet connections. And what we have right here is the Web3 auth connector. So this is a pretty cool service from Web3 auth, and it allows us to connect to any wallet, basically. In this case, we're going to connect to MetaMask, but we could also have a Web3 login using socials. Basically, you could do it using Google.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah,
think
can.
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Yes.
best example was like Chintaka showed initially, like what is the Web3 UX right now, current state. Like you lose your private key, you don't if you lose a private key, you cannot access your account. You have to like do the multiple confirmations, like if you are playing a game. And that all can be gone if you're using like Web3 auth, because with the Web3 auth you can access your same private key upon using the same social login. So if you go to like demo.web3.io, in the like if you are you can just go to demo.webflow.io, use like any social logins that we have like Google, Facebook, Reddit. You can also use TikTok, like if it's not banned in your country. So you can also use that, or you can use a phone number to create the account, your Farcaster account, and you will basically have a Web3 wallet for you inbuilt. And it's called embedded wallet because it's an app scope wallet. So the whole wallet lives inside the scope of the application. Like it's not like the MetaMask wallet that you can connect like at multiple dApps. The app, the wallet lives inside the app scope. That's why we call it like embedded wallet. And I think like in this example, like we'll be using the embedded wallet as a signer to create the Delegator account. And since like we are building an AI agent, it makes it super useful to use like embedded wallets, social logins to make it more easier to be onboarded on the application, right? Or dApp. And that's how like Web3 Auth is helping right now. So
Uh,
anyone can just go
Yeah.
to
there is
webflow.io to learn more.
Yes, that's awesome. There is one question that I have right now that I'm thinking. It's because I am building an application, but I'm building it in Solana. So can you create wallets in Solana with this or just EVM wallet compatible?
So that's a good question. We are basically chain agnostic. So yes, you can build Solana. You can also do Cosmos chains. You can also do Bitcoin, like any of the chain.
Okay,
Like since we give the private key, you can do all the magic you want on any chain.
okay, that's interesting.
Question.
I will talk to you
Do
later.
do you question, Yush, on the what about the account recovery? How does it work?
So so once you log in, like you can
Verification,
give
all that.
the yeah, it's a good question. So we do have like a we do give like users an option to like set up the MFA recovery. So
Hmm.
imagine like you're using Google account, right? You always set up like recovery email or recovery phone number. So similarly that you can set it in the Web3 account as well. You can set up the authenticator app, your passkey. So once even like if you don't have access to one of the share, like which is like your social login, you can still use the other factors that you have set up in the for the MFA recovery to access the account. So basically you will not losing your wallet ever again. Your money will be safe, I would
That's
say.
actually
Safe is
quite good.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually quite good. So, okay, okay. I think we are good. To keep going, basically, next step is to review the AI SDK, which we kind of did it. We have the API route that connects to OpenAI. If there is any question, just let me know so we can answer it. And but by now, let's keep reviewing this. We have right here the chat, which is the chat component that comes from the use chat hook from the AI SDK. So this is actually quite simple. This is how it works. We are talking with an AI right here, and we are connecting our wallets with a Web3 outlet. So yeah, it's time to start building. The first thing that we are going to do probably is to create a connect wallet button, which is right here. But first, what do you think, guys? We have a bundler and we have the connect wallet button right here. Where do you think we should start to start creating like the
We probably start creating a delegate account, delegate
okay,
smart account, and use the Web3 auth as the signer.
awesome.
Again, if you have forgot already, so smart account, the delegate smart account, you have to attach some method to authorize the transaction in the smart wallet. So that's why a Web3 auth comes in. So is the transaction in the smart wallet is signed by the Web3 auth because it's just a smart wallet, a
Yeah.
smart contract, right? They cannot do anything. They cannot have private key or something. So we are trying to create a delegator account and attach the Web3 auth as the signer here.
Okay.
Where do you want to start, Ale?
Let's start
So
by creating the public client, which is public client. Let's do this, and this comes from VM actually, or from WebMe. Let me just make sure I don't. Yeah, work. So Basically, this public client is the way we're going to use to interact with the wallet address of the Delegator account. Am I right? So,
Mm-hmm. So you put all the chain IDs and other stuff in the
okay.
public client.
So we're going to
Yeah.
come right here. We're going to do this, and we're going to also call the use wallet client.
So we need the wallet client to connect the Web3 auth signer to the Gateway account. So that's why we need to create a
Yes.
wallet client. So people who know VM know wallet client. So it is basically interface to the blockchain to basically do actions on the
Yep.
blockchain. So
In this case, let me just select this. And
can you go Sale? Maybe we can get a
yeah,
docs
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
show how the. So that's I think that's better. That way we see like there we see our target like where are we heading to. So go to create delegator account. Create a
Create delegate
delegator
account.
account.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So these the coordinate snippets you need to follow. You see in our SDK, the SDK currently we will the name is at private MetaMask slash Delegator
Mm-hmm.
Core VM, which is at the moment it is private alpha. We haven't released it yet to the public. But if you want to try it out, there's NPM token you need to have, and just reach out to one of us, and we can provide a NPM token. And good news and the spoiler alert is we'll be making this public very soon, like in weeks time, so that way you can straight away use the
Oh,
SDK. So SDK is the way you create the Delegator account
nice.
basically.
I think because I forgot to add the npm that npmrc thing, so
Uh-huh.
probably I will stop sharing my screen. You are going to send me, or I can find it anyway to or
I
I
think
can add
you
it.
can.
You think? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
do that. Basically, what I am going to do is to check how working code. Okay, I have this right here. Let me just add this. The difference is that I have installed permissionless and VM to this right here. So let me just commit this, and now I can check out, and I will copy this right here. So this way we have we can have, well, don't save in this case. Oh, I didn't save it. We'll do it again.
yeah. That's fine.
Life of a developer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So to context, I is trying to install the SDK right now.
Exactly.
So because since you, it won't like you cannot just npm install, so you need an npm token because it's private for some time at least. So for
It's
few
good to
weeks.
hear that in a few weeks will be
I see.
public. That's good.
Yeah.
So if you have the
All
access
good.
to alpha right now, you are the OG.
Yeah.
OG exactly. We have a token already. So
Oh,
all
good.
good,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
good,
yeah.
all good.
So,
So can you scroll down? I can. So do you see the account await to MetaMask account? So that is how you create the delegate account client. So basically, create the delegate account. So there are some few parameters we need to create the delegate account. Then we'll walk through everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Let me just copy this so we can import it. I will commit the code, but I am doing it. In this case, we're not going to use Cefolia, right? I mean, Linea Cefolia. We're going to use just
Yeah.
Cefolia.
Portfolio for now.
And yeah, do we have it right here? So yeah. So now after having this, we have the imports, we have the transport right here, I think. We'll use the public client coming from like this
From
one.
VM, right? And
I
yeah,
think, no, this is the wallet client.
the,
We need a public client.
we need the wallet
Yeah.
client as a, we need both
And I won't create a public client. I would get it from,
from
yes,
Wagmi.
but the import exactly is use public client.
And yeah, let's use public client.
Yep. So now that we have the public client and the wallet client this time, I think I can, we have the salt. Let me just focus it.
So I'll explain this all.
Yeah.
Maybe just the two MetaMask only.
Okay.
So we don't need the other.
What does the sol do, Chintak? Like,
Sold. Good question. So, for example, so the Web3 auth or the other signer we use have their own address. So, if you say that you need MetaMask to sign the transaction, you have a wallet address for the signer. And how about the address in the delegate account? I said it's a smart account. How about the address? So, address, even before deploying the smart contract wallet, we know the address. We call it create to method. So that way we can have deterministic address for the smart contract wallet. And say for example, they to determine the smart contract address, you take few parameters. For example, each code of the contract and other stuff, and mix it together to like build the address finally for the smart contract address. And what the soul does is it can just add some randomness to the address. For example, let's say you add one value for the soul, and if you change the salt value, it will derive a different address.
I
If
see.
you keep the same salt always for the when creating the client, it will derive the same address always. So it's
So,
nice nice way to basically change the address, if
I see.
like having
So it's
generate random
basically the
addresses.
salt will be, I see. So salt will be basically used in the init code. And if I want to like have
Yeah.
like multiple smart accounts using the same signer, I can use like different salts to create
Mm-hmm.
different smart accounts and still have the same
Yeah,
signer. I see.
exactly. So if you use the same signer, same other keep say that all other parameters are the same, it will derive the same address always. So you say that if you need a different address, you need to change the salt. Just it's a hex value. You can add another random hex value to derive a different address. Which means for the given single signer, you can have multiple delegate accounts.
Okay.
Where are
And
we at, Ali?
Yeah.
So
I
what
am
is this? I
basically
can see
what
the
I,
implementation.hybrid. What's
yeah,
that?
so the first argument is client. Yeah, we set up the chain. So what is the chain we use for the delegate account? And the implementation, you can have two types of implementation for the delegate account. The hybrid one is you have single signer like Web3 or MetaMask or something, and you there's another type of implementation called multisig. It's multisig, so you can have multiple wallets signing the same thing, just like the regular multisig. So in order to do anything with the smart account, the delegate account, you will be like you can attach multiple wallets if it is a multi-sig. That way we can set a threshold, something called threshold, where let's say there are four signers and three need to sign the transaction to make it effective, may make it run. So those are the things that we do with the multi-sig delegator, but here we are focusing on the hybrid one, which is
Okay.
single signer.
So if I want to use like passkeys, I can use the hybrid signer. Cool, cool.
Exactly. Single signer. So I see Ale has said 0x as the
the salt.
deploy salt, which is salt. Yeah,
Yeah, it was giving me an error. So basically, yes.
yeah, that's why. So deploy parameter is the parameter you add the signer details, so signer's address, and at the signature you can see the line number 27, right? The signature you add the wallet client, and the wallet client is the Web3 auth client in the beginning. So remember we already connected the Web3 auth, and we are using that wallet client in the delegate account.
Great, great. Um, so yeah, basically, just to recap right here, what we're doing right here, we're creating the MetaMask Smart account, which is going to be, in this case, the signer smart account, right? Is it? Hello. If
Sorry, what
it,
was that?
what we're doing right here is to create a MetaMask Smart account, which is going to be the signer smart account, right? Like the owner of the
Yeah,
delegation.
yeah. One is the Web3
Okay,
auth,
wallet.
Web3 auth, finance.
Exactly. We're using it
Yeah.
to create the smart
Wallet,
account.
right.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Let's see if we get the account or something. See if we get the smart
okay,
account in the
basically
anytime.
what we're going to do
Just go step by step.
is to do this right here. And this way we're going to be able to,
No, smart. Yeah, you try
yeah,
try to.
basically just to be able to, I think this is this account.
I think type for the account is wrong in the
Okay.
state. Okay, it's not that one. So you have to
Oh, yeah,
use
yeah, yeah, that's true.
uh,
Yeah,
Meta's
yeah, yeah.
smart account. It is put it in.
Remember. It's right here where I click.
Meta. Is it MetaMask smart account? That thing,
And
yeah.
right here.
That's the type of the smart account. Implementation
Yes.
and hybrid. Of
Great.
course. Let's see if we get
Yeah,
the wallet
let's
in the
try this. So right now, if we start this, let me I'll make this bigger because okay,
Oh
what
yes,
if
that's
I
awesome.
wanna wait a second? Okay, better. Wait
That's
a
a bit
second.
too big.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky, but I know how to solve it. I've been doing with this like a lot. So basically I do this, and then if I inspect again, we're going to have this big. Yes. Okay, so let me refresh. Let me run first the application. Nice.
Aliander looks pro here. How to increase the size
Oh
of
yeah,
console font.
we use a
Okay.
lot of those one.
The hack.
Um, so yes, probably right here. What I am going to do is to add is connected for the client and the public client. Right? So this
yeah.
way, issue. Let me just make sure the panel element. I think it's with. Yes, I have to refresh. It. We have it right here.
Awesome. Okay, this is your delegate account you just
Okay.
created. And you might see, okay, so that is the delegate account's address. So address property is that one. So you see that is different from the signer you used, the Web3 auth
Yes,
signer. You have created your first delegate account.
that's awesome.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. This is a really good start.
You
Yeah.
moved from Fox to Git. You moved from Fox to
The
Gator
Okay,
now.
Gator.
great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So next steps. So I said, see, so the current smart account, delegate account only exists in Alice
Yeah.
machine now, right? So you have to deploy it to the blockchain, the smart contract account to make it effective. You can do it in later time as well, but to make things clear and neat, we are doing it right now. So you create the delegate account first and deploy it
Okay.
afterward. So deploying is a bit tricky. Let's see how we can solve this one because it's just not so it's not hard head deployment or anything. We because we are dealing with 4337 stuff, use operations, bundle and
Okay.
other stuff.
So
So let's see how we can
okay,
solve that.
you're throwing me a curve. Let's try this. Uh okay. Basically what we're going to get right here, what I think we have to do first, actually it's because I kinda know what we're going to do, is that we
Yeah.
need to
Shall I go? Shall I explain a bit? So, for example, to deploy the contra MetaMask smart account, you just need to send a use operation, just dummy use operation to the bundler. I explained in the slides as well. We are not sending any transaction to the blockchain directly. Instead, we are sending that to the bundler, which is a special service that get the your use operation and bundle it and later submit it to the blockchain. So we are not directly interacting with the blockchain. So what we need is we have to set up a bundler and send the use operation asking it to deploy the delegate accounts. That's what we are trying to do. To deploy it, there is no function to deploy it. We are just doing some hacks to deploy it. So let's figure
Okay.
it out. So bundler, I think we are
Mm-hmm.
using Pimlico, which is a popular bundler. Do you
No,
have
we
it set
we
up or
haven't. We
do we
haven't.
need to
Let's
go?
come right here. I will
Yeah.
create a wait a second, a new file, utils, and this is going to be Tumblr. That's here, probably. And right
Yes.
here, what we're going to have is the bundler. So I have some code over here, which refers probably, I will copy and explain it a bit. So that way we can give it a look. So we do not take so much time building it.
Maybe can you go to the dashboard
Okay.
as well for the Pimlico?
Okay.
It's clear, right?
I have it right here.
So go to
This one.
Pimlico, and this is your bundler. So this not only a bundler. This in this case we use it as the paymaster as well, which means Pimlico pays the gas. Not Pimlico, we have to pay it. I mean, we have to add our credit cards and other stuff, but we can set up that all the transaction is paid by Pimlico as the paymaster. So you have already created API key, I
Yes.
guess. So
Wait. Yeah.
then can you go to the dashboard again? So API key, if you click on RPC URLs and those click it. Okay, those are the bundler URLs that you need to use. So for example, you set up a use operation and you send it to the bundler with this URL. Just like your Infura or other thing that you send the transaction to, something similar. But since we are dealing with 4337 account abstraction smart contract things, we have to send it to the bundler.
Yes.
Do you already have the? So you need to pick the correct chain ID as well and bundle. Okay,
Yes.
all
Yes.
correct, right?
So basically, this bundler is the one that's going to execute our transaction, and it's
Exactly. So they do some checks before submitting to the
okay.
blockchain. They do like simulate the contract, like what will happen if you submit the bund to blockchain. And once that is successful, they check the signature as well, whether it is signed by the correct signer. And once all that is successful, they submit it to the blockchain.
Great. And Pimlico is going to pay for the gas fees.
No, you will play, but Pimlico is the paymaster. You have eventually you will be paying it, but we set up the paymaster via
Okay.
Pimlico.
Okay. Understand.
Yeah, but I think yeah, it's a testnet. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what we have right
So
here, we have the aim account abstraction that create bundler client and create paymaster client. Okay, this is what you said. So we're using the paymaster URL, which is the URL
mhm,
that we have. We know like the RPC
we got
URL.
from the
Yeah,
dashboard.
that we got from here. And this way we create the paymaster. We have the bundler client,
Yeah.
which is the one we're going to use to connect to the bundler, I guess, and the Pimlico client.
Yeah.
So,
Since
yep.
we use since we use Pimlico for both bundler and the paymaster is the same URL
Okay,
for
yeah,
both.
yeah.
So
So
that's
basically, what we
that's
are
the
going to do right here, as I know, is that we need to use the Pimlico client to get the user operation gas price. Pimlico client, yes, and we're going to get user operation gas price. This exactly, I mean, what do we do with this gas chain?
guess I think if you wanna go, I forgot that one. So what are the properties we get from the fees?
Yeah, so we get the like from the gas fees, like you get your fast, slow, and
Max.
medium. So it's
Yeah.
basically depends on the network congestion. So like if you want your transaction to be executed in a faster way to be picked up by the validators, you can pay the fast gas price, which will eventually like allow you to complete your transaction much faster. And if you don't care that a transaction is executed slowly or picked up late by the validators, you can basically use the slow as well. But since like we, it only depends on the Sapolia. For L2s, I think it's mostly the same.
Mhm. So I see that Ale is doing something interesting. So we have in the delegated client, we have a function called is deployed. It is basically a check to see if the delegate account is already deployed or not. And only if it is not deployed, we are going to deploy it. Otherwise, we don't run the use operation to deploy it. So the function is smart account dot is deployed. You have to avoid that one because it's async.
Yes.
So it's a boolean value. So if it is not true, you are going to deploy
This
the
is
delegate
actually
account.
quite interesting. Basically, when you create the smart account, the one that we saw right here, this is not actually on a
Mhm.
blockchain. This is not online. Okay.
No, not yet. Not yet. It's in your only in your
Okay.
local.
I think
But we know the address. So that's the counterfactual part. So once you deploy it, so usually when you deploy a smart contract or something, you don't know the address beforehand, right? You only know the address once
Yes.
you deploy it. But in this case, it's different. You know the address beforehand because we use we use the deploy salt and other stuff to calculate the address. You know the address beforehand.
Okay.
So deploying it bit tricky and it's just sending a dummy transaction to the bundler. So then it will try to run the use operation, and in that process it will look for the smart account, see if it is whether deployed or not. If it is not, they're going to the bundler going to run the call to deploy the account.
Exactly.
So you that by is send user operation, right? Bundle
Yeah.
client.
Bundler client. Yeah.
Client
That
is send user
send
operation.
user operation. Here it is. And okay.
Yeah.
And this is the one.
There you need
Okay.
they are going. So your account. So you are sending the user operation from your
Yeah.
delegate account.
This is
And then you just need to have a dummy you can do like any transaction, but for now, since we don't want to spend money on that one, we just send it to do use zero address. So there is a special address called zero address, and we are calling that one zero address. If you hover over it, you will see the address. So it's 0x00, like many zeros. So again, this just a trick to make the delegate account to be deployed. So it's just a trick. We are just sending a like zero transaction to the zero address. Then bundler can figure out, okay, he's asking to deploy the delegate account and deploy the account, and then all you need to add the gas flag you have already added.
yes.
So those are the two like major three things we need to uh, create a use operation. One is the account, what is the account you are interacting with, and the calls. Calls are basically like what are you doing with the smart account. So basically the transaction and the gas fees. Let's see.
Okay.
So just like in the regular blockchain transaction, you will send a transaction and you wait for the confirmation. And here it's bit different with bundlers. You have to that is called, I think, bundler client dot away wait transaction
Okay.
receipt.
Wait a second.
So you had to wait for the
Yeah.
transaction use operation.
Right here, I'm just going to go right here. But after
Okay, no.
that, after this, yes,
So
we are going to have the, yeah,
with the receipt, you get the hash back. You get the because each operation is assigned a
yeah,
hash. So you have the hash already on the above. So in the next one, wait transaction receipt, I guess.
yeah.
Do you have
Um,
okay wait transaction?
wait for transaction receipt. Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. Now pass the hash.
Nice. So basically, this is it. We can console log it, and
Yeah, the receipt.
this is actually, this is where the smart account, like the delegator account, is basically done, because this is when we deploy it, right? Right here we create
Exactly.
it, but it's not on chain. Here we deploy it, so it's
Yeah.
already on chain.
Yeah.
It's ready to be used right here. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's give this a look.
Yes. You can write delegation and do other stuff. Just run it. Moment of truth.
Okay, invalid.
That's how you.
Yeah, invalid smart account nodes used for the user operation. Get
What is
user
that?
operation. Get user operation gas price. Do I need to add something else to that? I don't think so.
No, I think that's it for the bundle client.
Hmm.
I think we can get more information from
What is
the
right?
Pimlico dashboard as well.
Okay.
A25 invalid account nonce.
Go to log. So get the last one. So these are the logs of all the use operations that bundler gets.
Yeah,
Invalid nonce. So the nonce is 0, right?
I
For this
think I
one.
didn't add the nose. Should I?
You don't have to
No,
add
no,
the
no.
nonce, right?
Uh, what else? Placehold. Get user operation welfare is before it's smart.
Maybe there's a pending use operation or something.
No, I think can you go back to the error? It's A25, right? We can check in the A25 permissionless invalid account nonce. Okay.
Okay, wait a second. I think I know where it is. We have a user select right here, and oh no, this is like this. This is okay. So yeah,
Maybe it's running multiple times. Could it be since you are in the
Yeah,
use
that
effect? I
yes,
think
that
that's the
can be
issue.
also one thing.
You are trying to submit multiple use operations continuously because your use effect is running
okay.
multiple times
Should I?
because it says no.
Yes. Let me just try it again for a second. Hmm.
Hmm. Same thing, same error.
Is the account deployed already?
Can you check? But otherwise, that code won't run, right?
Yeah,
So running it,
because right here,
so it is not deployed.
if
Yeah, you
it's
check.
not deployed,
You run this.
let me
I think we can get the nonce and edit like get account nonce.
let's get nonce.
I think what is. Can you change the salt for a moment? Because when we are trying, I think we try to change the salt to some other value,
Like 0x.
0, 1, 0x1 or something. Some random value, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Now just try it. It will create a new delegate account.
It's deployed full.
No,
No.
not
Yeah,
same error.
signature provided for the user operation is invalid.
It's something
The
else.
signature is
Maybe we can disconnect and connect again.
You have to connect
yeah.
again. Sorry, yeah, because awesome.
Okay, but
We are
let's
getting some
wait.
different error means we are making progress at least. So Alice logging in again with Web3
Yes.
auth and attaching signer to delegate account. No, same thing. It's the same
Looks
error.
like it. Yeah. Signature provided, but what?
What?
Hmm. Let me just check here. We have the signatory, the wallet client. We created the wallet client.
Wallet kind is
Use
correct.
wallet client coming from WACME. Here we do not need this by now.
How about the chain you use? Sepolia
Yeah,
everywhere, right?
I mean, but I'm not using it right here.
Yeah. So the public kind uses Sepolia.
Yes, we did use it in the past, but we do not actually need it
What's
here. Generate private key to account. We do not need this,
Don't need.
but let me just give this a quick look. This is okay. Hybrid sold signatory wallet client. Then we're setting the account. It's okay. Here we have the gas price. If the smart account is connected, we check if it's deployed. Then if it's not deployed, we're going to away for the bundle clients and use operator close keyword address gas price. Okay, but it falls. I mean, it fails here. I guess it's because it's already deployed. Could be. It's
But
false.
it's
Yeah, it's
false, right?
false.
Not
So it's
deployed,
probably
which means this
here.
thing is.
User operation submitted.
What is the very first error? Okay, it's on the
Yeah,
Web3.
this is
Okay.
the web layout. It,
So the non signature for the user operation is incorrectly computed. Do you have the MetaMask
hmm.
connector as well?
that could be. Let me just. Um, sorry.
Disconnected maybe
Yeah,
because they are trying to use the
I owe
same. No,
account details. No. I always forget where I disconnect to every year. No,
It's not connected.
it's
not
not
connected.
connected
No.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you try with the MetaMask account and
So the
see?
second is the,
Okay, let's try with the MetaMask account. Okay, RPC error.
Okay, we need to change the chain ID in the MetaMask.
That's probably why.
it's linear
Linear
It's
Sepolia.
because
Sapolia.
of
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
It happened again. It's the second time today.
yeah, yeah. So be careful when copy pasting code from
Yes.
somewhere. So and
Let me disconnect.
that's the lesson today. Try Web3 Auth,
Yeah.
it should work now.
So the issue was basically we are using the bundler RPCs for the
Yeah,
Yeah.
wrong.
Sapolia, but we were using the public client of the linear Sapolia, and that's why the nonce was mismatching.
It
Yes,
went through,
here
right?
it
So the
is.
user.
So good.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
let's
Debugging
go.
User.
live. Demo gods.
now,
Yeah.
now let's go to the dashboard, see if, like what is happening behind the scenes. Then we'll understand, like we get the whole
Here
picture
we
with
have
that
the
one.
operation mine.
Transaction
Yes.
too, right?
So let's check the logs.
So go to the dashboard. Maybe you need to refresh it. It's not.
There it
Yeah,
is.
get the not that one. So actual user
This one.
operation is little below that one. Yeah, yeah. So this is what is happening in the bundler side. So your user operation will be added to something called alt mempool, which is different from the regular mempool we have in the blockchain. And then bundler is bundling the user operation multiple times and then submit. They do some checks as well. They do this check the signature. That's why we got the signature in the previous case. So they check all those things in the bundler side and then only they submit it to the blockchain. So the submitted one is the thing we like submitting to the blockchain. Maybe you can copy the transaction hash and go to Etherscan or
The
something. So folio and see like
It's the same. Yeah, it's the
What
same.
is the actual transaction?
Sequoia.
Sequoia it is scan. And
Okay,
okay, that is the transaction to deploy the delegate account.
perfect. Okay, so this is the gas price, but actually I didn't pay for gas price. I paid.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pimlico paid it for
okay.
now.
Basically, let's
I wish Pimlico can pay my
yeah, my transaction.
gas price on minute as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
let's do a quick recap.
so yeah, exactly.
So yes, basically,
Do you wanna go? Yeah,
I'll do it and
please go.
you'll interrupt me whenever you think it's needed. But
Yeah,
what we did, we
yeah.
created a connect wallet button using the Web3 app providers. So we're doing a login with social this time, so that way we do not have to sign the transaction because Web3 app do it. I mean, we can create a signer. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but okay, you'll interrupt me if I'm wrong. But so yeah, after that, what we are going is creating the smart account. So we do it using the MetaMask Delegation Toolkit method, which is to MetaMask the smart account. And these, what we are doing is basically setting up the smart account, but without um, deploying it to the blockchain. So this is probably a complete account, which is a smart contract account that acts as a wallet, but it's not specifically a wallet. So kind of tricky, but understood.
Mm.
So after we have the smart account ready, what we have to do is to set up the smart account. And this setup is basically deploy the smart account if it's not deployed. If it's deployed,
Mhm.
basically what we can do is to start delegating using it. I think this is not something
Yeah,
that we're going to see today, but basically this is
yeah,
like the general overview.
yeah. So if we zoom out a bit, this delegator account we just created is the admin's account, which means not the AI agent account, is the owner of the AI agent's account.
For
So in the next session, we'll create a different wallet for the AI agent, and from this delegate account, we'll be writing delegation to that AI agent wallet, so that AI agent wallet can handle some like on-chain stuff. So that's like our next target in the next session. So because too much for the single day, so we'll like spreading out the code like probably 2 3 session.
yes, and this
So
is
hope things
yeah,
go
this
well.
is a really interesting live coding session. It's the delegation toolkit. It's a more complex concept to understand. So there are like several steps. First, you have and several
Yeah,
participants. Let's say in this case, it's the delegator account. Then you have the delegate account, and then you have, of course, the
mm,
bundler, which is the one that executes the transaction and deploy the smart contract account. Then we're
yeah,
going to have the AI agent, which is going to be the owner of the delegate account. So
yeah.
it's like a lot of the stuff that we
Lot of
have to put
moving parts.
together,
Yeah,
but I think
yeah,
we're going to get it. Probably right now it's a bit messy, but in the following sessions, I'm sure we're going to clarify everything.